And we're very happy this evening to discuss with two young political leaders who are going to be influencing the politics of Kampala. Fiona, where can people find us?
Indeed, it is an exciting evening to be hosting these fantastic leaders and having you join us. So you can listen to us on a number of platforms. You can listen to us on X at Shenga. You can listen to us on YouTube at the New Breed Podcast UG. You can also catch us on Instagram at Fiona Kemi and on TikTok at Shenga. So wherever you get your usual programming, there is a version of us there. And don't forget to subscribe, like, follow. Over to you, Robert.
So I am actually quite thrilled to host somebody who has become the most colorful candidate on the political scene. Viral. The man is, I don't know, when they talk about people who come from the left field, this is the guy who just come from the left field. Abraham Luzzi. I hope I pronounced your name well. Abraham, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you, Mr. Kabshenga and Kemiksha. It's a pleasure being here with you. I'm so honored. Yes. And to you all viewers, it's a pleasure sharing this moment and at least having a few feeling and discussion about what is about us and around us. Yes.
Okay, great. Then there is Mr. Kelvin Ocaya. I enjoyed teasing him while we were preparing. When he turned on his camera, we couldn't see the man at all. He was in the dark. He forgot he's typically Luo, and therefore, the only time I knew he was there is when he smiled. And I was like, oh, okay, he's actually there. Kelvin, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kapshenga and Mrs. Kemugisha for hosting me. Oh, I actually I am a true African and a true Ugandan and a true Luo. So it's yeah, thank you. And good evening, listeners.
Okay, so it's great to have both of you. We've already shared, so just so you understand how this show or this conversation works, it is not on the usual media that you're used to. We're not on TV, we're not on radio. We're purely on digital media platforms. We take you to our audiences that consume their media largely from, digital platforms at whatever time they want to. So which is why we have here. And thankfully, here there is no interruption. Apart from us, there's no adverts, there's no, I don't know what else. Fiona, I don't know. It's clear. And also, it's the one place where we are sure you will be completely unfiltered. So I just wanted you to be clear. This is just, it is everywhere on digital media, and it's the digital media people who are enjoying, because normally you guys are used to going, and we've shared your profiles. So you really don't need to explain to people who you are. What we're interested in is the way you think about your leadership role and the things that you want to do. And Fiona, if I may, let me start with a typical question that we ask everybody who comes on this show. And I want to start, I'll ask both of you exactly the same question. And I'll start with you. Any one of you can go first. The question is very simple. Why did you decide to contest for the political office that you're contesting for, and especially Kampala? And today we really want to focus on Kampala. Why Kampala, and why did you find, say, okay, let me go to and stand for this political office? I mean, Luzzi, you, I think from Mitiana or somewhere around there. Why didn't you go there? Or Ocaya, I suspect you're from somewhere above Karuma. Why did you go there? Why Kampala? Why did you feel you can make a big difference in Kampala? Who goes first?
Okay. Whom do you want to start with? You said anyone.
Okay, you go ahead, Abraham.
Okay, let me go first. It's okay. Mr. Kabshenga and all viewers, first of all, having stood in Mitiana municipality for the last electoral time and period, I realized that, first of all, my message was not for that rightful audience, because whatever I would be talking about, people would think maybe I am dreaming or things like that. From the villages, people are so backward that they try to localize their life, and when they see anything modern, they don't understand. They completely misunderstand you. Like, for example, when you have a good car, they think that is their money. They also think, seeing you eating a good, decent meal, they think you are at least trying to mock them. When you come dressed in a tie, they will think you are showing off. When you talk about things like proper roads, for them, they are used to walking barefooted over thorns, things like that. They are hunters. So that kind of mentality. These are people, first of all, who believe in witchcraft, luck. They completely misunderstand everything about modernity. So wherever I will be talking about certain aspects of life, it will be a mockery for them, and they will hate you to the core. Yeah. So I decided, and I said, hey, look, I first of all don't stay in the villages. For sure, I was staying and working in the city, but I said that maternal side of mine, where my mother hails from, I should give them an opportunity, and like they will understand me better. I had uncles. Can you imagine the same maternal family members could not even understand the same message? So they were like them all. They subscribed the same ignorance, you know. So I was not even supported by my own family. They all subscribe to complete nonsensical, backward behavior. I'm telling you, these are people who always go out in the morning and in the evening to give offertory to the ancestors, and they believe it is where they consume luck and things like that. They don't believe in quality, timeless service, or quality products. You know, they don't believe in anything modern. So I said, no, this is a wrong audience, and I decided to come to Kampala. And immediately when I came to Kampala, people accepted the message. Lastly, which I did tell you, can you imagine the villagers and the local or localized societies? They think these leaders benefit a lot, and whatever they earn should be shared equally. They even think, for example, a member of parliament, they think you are supposed to take care of all the widows. After all, even if you don't know whatever killed their husbands, they know you are now their husband. The orphans, you assume the role of a father. You don't need DNA. They will allocate all these children to you under your responsibility. Then, when you come to things like
Abraham, what did you do? We've lost your sound. Abraham, if you are using earphones.
You muted. Mr. Kapshenga, you muted.
No, I didn't mute anything, but you're back now. You're good. Go ahead. You can go on. You were saying something.
What happened? Can you hear me?
It is so low. I don't know what you did. Are you using earphones or something? Did you change to earphones? Did you did something with your...
I think I need to move.
Okay, that's better. Don't do anything else.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes. 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
So you were still telling us about your widows.
So did you hear me what I said?
No, it disappeared a bit.
Yes. Okay, thank you. They allocate, they localized people, the entire country. It is now within the understanding that you assume the role of their deceased husbands, the orphans. You don't need DNA. They allocate all these orphans to you. all these border people, you must always give a handout whenever you meet them, whenever you talk to them. So now you basically, if your electorate number of voters is 100,000, you're responsible for over 100,000 that community. The elderly, you are responsible. Also, any churches or mosques or shrines, you are supposed, they all never get completed. So they always construct, and after inviting you, and you show them your back, then they invite your competitor. But before even you go, you will hear an applause of voices clapping. Kumbe, it is your competitor. So it is a mess. So my brother, the village people, you know, all the budgets, whoever has died, you have to contribute immensely. You are supposed to contribute more than 100,000 every week. There are at least 10 people who die, and you must send condolence messages with the contributions. You dare to send a little, you will go when they are bullying you, when they are actually insulting you, and all they say is that we are the voters, we are your boss.
Which is true. But
until when it is not true at all. It is now the narrative I have changed. I am saying I am the boss. The boss must be exemplary, must be an employer. The other one is not a job you are sending me to do. In the city, I have told them, I am my own boss. I'm doing a service. You are a beneficiary to that service. I am your boss. Stop calling yourselves and assuming virtual powers over me. You are doing me nothing like a favor. Instead, it is me doing for you a favor. Any leader, it is sacrifice and voluntary. So that's why the Kampala people and the entire world, Uganda as a general, they have really assumed this response very well. Because for sure, I ask them, like, when you ask me that, why are you leaving me the way you found me? I say, hey, look, how did I find you? You better stay in the same position. Then also politicians from opposition, they have been trying to teach a wrong message. And later, the trap has caught them as well.
Just hold on, Abraham, just hold on. I want to come back to that issue of, your view of politicians in Kampala. I want to give Kelvin a chance to respond to the why. Fiona, you please remember to follow up that question with Abraham, because I think he was going to say something powerful.
All right.
Kelvin.
Oh, well, yes. So thank you so much for the question, and I would like to applaud my colleague Luzzi for his submission. I really would like to thank the framers of the Ugandan Constitution, because they have given the chance for every citizen to be able to contest in any part of this country, irrespective of your cultural affiliation or tribe affiliation. So you can contest in any part of the country, which is a great thing that they did. And I hail from Agago. That is where my father comes from, and my mother is from Terego. But yes, so I was in Agago when I was still young, I think below the age of 10. But because of the Konyi War, we moved to the side of my mom. So I grew up more from West Nile, and then I came to the city, and I have spent more of my life in the city, and much of it has been in Makerere University ever since I was a student until date. So to answer the question, why Makerere? I have been in Makerere for the last 7 years. And thank God that I managed to be part of one of the projects that was meant to support students, students who are affiliated to universities in Uganda. And Makerere was the first, and the organization was called Global Business Labs, where we believe that unemployment was quite a big challenge, especially among the young people and the graduates, who come out of the different universities in the country. And when you look at the companies the private sector cannot be able to, employ all. And even the public sector the same. So we're like, what could be a solution to this? So we believe each and every individual has an idea that can be turned into business. But the moment you give them that, platform where they can be able to, their ideas can be able to be nurtured, then they can be able to create employment opportunities for themselves. So we managed to produce over 200 businesses that were owned by the university students by then. So some of the students graduated with their businesses, and I could say that one of the companies actually now has over 30 employees. And the good thing with it is, one thing I like about them is they remembered where they came from, and now they're also offering, mentorship for the students, because you figure out that that what the employers need in the skill sometimes cannot be found in class. So they try to equip them both the practical skill that is needed in the job market to add on their theory. So I thank God that they're doing that. And so why Makerere? It's important that each and everyone has to experience growth and development. Every year that passes, you need to see someone growing. If today you're riding a bicycle, tomorrow you should be able to, to move into a motorcycle. Then maybe after some years you can get yourself a car, or if you're staying in a rental, you should be able to maybe some years to get a plot of land. And then maybe another time you can be able to also, put up a small structure, for yourself. So ever since I have been seeing, especially the non-support staff. They've always been like the same. I remember when some would come and say, you know what, I have not gotten my salary for the last 3 months. Could you just help me something very little? I have this kind of a challenge. Now, when such kind of narrative continues year after year, you start feeling pain. You own it. So I was like, okay, since I have been there and we managed to produce students who are starting business, why don't I use Makerere University as a model whereby I now come in to try to support the staff through the different initiatives that I have been part of, so that they don't so much depend on salary. Can they be able to
So how will you standing for councillor change that?
Sorry?
If you stood, because you're contesting for LC, the KCCA councillor position, not so?
Absolutely.
So how would you...
So, I mean, there's so many entities that are out there, and they are willing to transform the communities and their social economic well-being. So me as a councillor, my role is to lobby. First of all, I need to profile every household. What kind of people exist in household? We have children, we have kids, we have youths, and we have the adults and the parents themselves. And what are they exactly doing? And what challenges exist in each household? Then how can you be able to address it? So my role is to lobby, to see that, for example, we have so many government programs, but they have been mismanaged because the people who are implementing it are not implementing it in the right way. Most of the projects of government tend to be turned into partisan, yet they are supposed to serve everyone, irrespective of which political party you're affiliated to. So that is the narrative I want to come in to change, that the government programs must be able to benefit each and every individual, irrespective of their political affiliation. It's very key.
Okay.
And the second thing is we have development partners. So if there's some if let's say like there's some individuals who might want to start can they be helped? They already exist in ecosystem actors in the country. Mostly they're sitting here in Central. Can I be able to connect with them, that they come and help the people in the constituency? If there are those who have ideas, if there are those who have business at a small scale, how can they get those consultancy? So my role is to lobby to make sure that my constituency, the people in my constituency, their well-being is transformative.
Right. Fiona.
So if I may, actually picking up on where you left off with Mr. Luzzi, there's a question that came in from our audience, and this lady was saying, "Echintu echiri ku ground chiri nti the regions that vote a certain way, those are the regions that benefit." Right? That's what the people are saying. And so I'm curious to hear from you, Mr. Luzzi. If you got into the seat of MP Central, what would your strategy look like for starting to change that narrative, to break that red tape, to change? I know there's been some conversation about places like Luero, which was once the seat, and how things have changed when their allegiances changed. So I mean, I'd love to hear from you what it would look like for you in power, for you in that seat, to start to change the way things are.
Thank you so much. First of all, the fact that even you could recognize, especially like you, Kem Gisha and Mr. Kabushenga, and even inviting me among other people that are standing, it shows there is a message that is sinking deep in the ears of every Ugandan, and that's why you could recognize at least some uniqueness in that message. And that's why I appeal to all Ugandans. The most important part at this moment of transitioning our country is changing the mindset and to accept the truth, where everybody, we are saying it is your responsibility in formulating, modernizing, developing, and changing this country. And it begins with me, with you. There are things we are having as a culture, as behaviors, which need to change with me. So my role right now has started. Whether I'm voted or not, the change is coming. And it has to actually start with me, with you, whether you want it or not. There's been a narrative of lying to the population and promising unrealistic performances by different individuals. Can you imagine the entire population thinks it is politicians who work for the population? We are saying, no, look, guys, whether you are opposition or government, you should understand that it is government via its budget and from taxes collected, or even donations and the rest. And we are saying there has been a very divergent role of MPs where they have not known their real cardinal objective, why they are called MPs. And we are saying many of the performances of government. Should I continue?
Yeah. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah, we are saying many of different civil servants, including government, they have been running on assumptions and theories. People are not practical. Can you imagine? No MP knows that one of the biggest role is to make sure he looks into a budget, that budget analyzes it, and they make at least recommendations for at least to see if surely funds are appropriately received, then appropriated. Can you imagine many government installations, they are underfunded? You cannot expect service delivery. So MPs don't know, and they're not part of that budget, and they cannot criticize it. And can you imagine if people are from NRM government, they think if you're an MP of NRM, you simply don't have to do what you're supposed to do with your knowledge. They think they're supposed to kill up for the president and even follow like a bandwagon, you know? So it's like there's been a mess. People don't know that when you pass very useless laws and policies, they will catch up with you later, or even your children or relatives. So they think they simply go to parliament, waste time. People go to seek for handouts, holidays, and get salary. And it's a shame. And that's why we are saying we are supposed to make sure the qualifications of an MP, we have to set minimum standards. Among them was the degree. If a budget is passed, it must be read properly, dissected, and even people analyze figure per figure. But can you imagine if the minimum educational requirement is a senior 6, inside that budget is as big as a Bible or twice? There are terms, there are graphs, projections, demograms, figures as in trillions, which can't even fit on a calculator. And now these idiots, they simply pass anything because they cannot read, even understand. I'm sorry to use that language. Every MP, even inclusive of the opposition, normally they even walk out when there's something contentious simply because they don't know what to do. So we are saying enough is enough. An MP should have at least minimum educational requirements of a degree, because they are at least terms and whatever that are in those course units. Then also we are saying another role of an MP is to enact laws. How can someone who has no any knowledge of law enact laws? It is completely insane. Do you really get me? How can you enact laws which you yourself you don't know? Which means an MP must have at least some legal knowledge. That's why we are saying a degree, because in most cases where they are a graduate at a university, every degree has at least some legal mind. Like me, I did procurement and logistics management. There is mercantile law, there is business law, there are at least some element of law. Now you bring someone. That's why we are saying the Central and the Western, they have been the epitome of bringing substandard and mediocre MPs who are simply either when you are in opposition, you are radical. You oppose everything shallowly. You don't even analyze or look at anything. An MP from the opposition doesn't know that he's supposed to negotiate with government properly in a sane manner so that you can at least bargain. And you do something similar to lobbying from your very government. You are a paymaster. The government is the paymaster. The people don't know this. They walk out, they shout endlessly, they don't listen, they don't do research, they talk out of no knowledge. Then when you come to the MPs of NRM, they think chanting Mr. Museveni shows that now they are very loyal to the party. Nonsense. So to me, I'm saying it begins with me by changing all these people. We've been teaching them, and the best way is social media, because it entangles everybody. The message sinks faster. That's why now there is a very big change. People are shifting from ignorance to lightness, you know? At least people are beginning to be enlightened. We are saying there's no need of converging to do ordinary campaign. You spread diseases, you disrupt businesses. If you are not paying these people, how are you going to disperse them after? Those are the criminals which steal our shoes, our tires, mirrors, completely. So we are saying, even the budget. Now I am using digital. I am enjoying, I'm fattening, because I'm having no stress. I sit in my house here, in my office, I disseminate any information. In just 1 hour, I have reached 2 million. And we are saying even Mr. Museveni, 40 years ago, 40 years already, nobody doesn't know you. You don't need to do all this gari and moving from one place to another. Our senior brother, our senior father, you're a soldier, you should be seeing this, you're a gorilla man. This is completely not a viable project. You should embrace digital transformation in application of our lives and businesses. Nobody doesn't know that Mr. Museveni has passed. Even any aeroplane that passes up or above the sky, our children, they sing it is Mr. Museveni's whatever. Then also, even if it's a kindergarten, we've not seen any president. Even someone before who is below 50 years, they will tell you, I know only Mr. Museveni is the president. Therefore, I suggest he would stand on Zoom, on TV, on TikTok, and disseminate his information properly, and people will understand. Then, equally, we are saying the budgets will be much simpler. So we are trying to change the mindset, whether we have gone through or no. Of course, there are those ones that from the oscillation, there are those ones which you throw out, which don't hear, and they only turn to abuses, vulgar. But the real people, they are now changing. They are tired. We are saying people think Museveni has taken their riches. Museveni is the cause of their poverty. Can you imagine? And this is what the opposition is preaching. We are saying, no, what are you doing? Do you have any work? What form of investment are you doing? Before Mr. Museveni came, what were you? You know, which deal have you done and Mr. Museveni stopped it? And this kind of nonsense, this has been spread by opposition or MPs. You understand? Then equally, Mr. MPs from NRM, they come to seek a comfortable position. You are rich. Why are you coming to politics? And you are spending billions to attain a position. You know very well that it won't yield those billions. Something's wrong, the corruption. You understand? Very many people are investing in this. They know they are coming to steal. Whoever is watching us should know, we know what you are doing, and this is the time. We are saying government, public service, and service delivery has been crippled by the syndrome which is called permanent and pensionable. That whoever brought that idea brought a cancer to this country. Every civil servant must get a contract of 2 years, which is only renewable upon appraisal and performance. But can you imagine people even bribe to get these jobs so that they, even if it is paying less, they are sitting in a pot of corruption, of at least embezzling from those positions. I was giving examples, whether permanent secretary, whether minister, whether commissioners, things like that. So many people in their best salaries, they are low, but they are billionaires. I was talking about Minister of Lands and so on and so on. So many people get basic salary, but they are billionaires. You know why? They make the government service work difficult for the population, and the alternative is to extort. So the government, even Mr. Museveni, should know that this is late. It is simple. Just give people contracts, and they should be beggar kwa beggar, you know? By 2 years, if you have so many complaints, they don't renew your file. And it is by public domain, you know? So that way, we shall have better service delivery. Then lastly, choosing people who don't know. Yes, should I continue?
I just wanted to, because you've talked about now the difference, you know, we're talking about a digital age and, you know, what has come before us, before this next generation. And it made me think of, you know, now in service of Kampala, you'll be serving some very different demographics. And this is, you know, for both yourself and Mr. Ocaya. Perhaps let me also go to him to contribute on this question. Now that you'll be serving different demographics in this space of leadership, Mr. Ocaya, like it would be interesting to also hear, how do you see the service of these different generations? Because, for example, last week when Dr. Nalukwago was telling us that what she is observing, she's also running for councillor, is that what she's observing and the youth of Kampala observing as a core need is drainage and rubbish, you know, the disposal of rubbish, the proper disposal of garbage. And she also talked about how data is now a basic need for, you know, the young person. In addition to all the other basic needs, data is now something we need. And, you know, this is also something that Mr. Luzzi was talking about, whether you're campaigning or you're like me, I work on social media, I'm a podcaster, data is actually a basic need for my livelihood. So even in your service as a counselor, please share with us how do you see yourself making that work, a way to serve the youth, but also still serve the other generation, because ultimately we are intergenerational community and we are coexisting.
And before you guys come in, I just want to give a bit more context to what Fiona has asked. I mean, Ocaya, you are in Makerere, but as you said, there are those people who come to you to ask because they haven't got salary. But Makerere has professors, people who are flying out of the country every day. There are problems of Kampala. They experience Kampala differently from the guards who are at the gates of Makerere University. They're different from the border guys, from the workers. So I hope you can understand what we mean by Kampala being this place where there are different categories. That's what I just wanted to add to clarify a bit more. When we talk about demographics, that's what we mean. You have young, you have old, you have social categories, you have people who are selling things outside the gate, mobile money, I don't know what. Then you've got people who have big malls, you know, and so on. How do we deal with those?
Oh, wait, thank you so much for the question, Mrs. Fiona, and also for clarifying it in details, Mr. Kapshenga. Well, Makere really has a quite unique demographic. We have the non-support staff, we have the staff themselves, that is the teaching staff, which includes and then we also have the administration. And we also have the professors, we have the business community, and we have, you know, the people who operate in a little bit outside the perimeter of the university. They are also voters in the university. But you see, the Makerere University in itself, different categories experience different challenges. For example, you know, I feel like Makerere University, as for now, as I speak, has been captured by the state, because you know, Makerere should have acted as a center of excellency and a voice where a professor does not fear to come and speak boldly about the injustice in the country. But as I speak right now, professors are scared to make political statements, and they are so scared to even affiliate themselves to what? To politics, because anytime you can lose your job. So that is a very, very big challenge. I was having a conversation with one of the people, and they say that Makerere has the biggest number of security. There are so many security operatives in Makerere. What are they doing there in a learning institution? A learning institution is supposed to be a center of excellency where no one is intimidated to speak whatever they see as injustice. So I feel so bad that then professors used to speak, but now they cannot. So where is the university headed? Where is it headed to? It's quite a big challenge. We have the non-support staff who they take long to pay their salary. People have families. People have school fees to pay. People have they have to buy food each and every day. Now you take long to to delay someone's salary. It's quite a big challenge. And I understand nowadays they have introduced what they call contract, where some of the staffs are not sure about their job security. You know, you can work for 6 months, 1 year, and you're still on a contract. Yet Makerere University is a public institution. Why can't you enroll them into the system so that they know that their job is secure? Because they have exercised their capacity, their competence, that they can actually, you know, be able to execute the mandate. The business community, they can just wake up one morning and say, I think it was 2 years back, where I don't know what categories of people, they just woke up one morning and say that the business community should leave the university. But the business community is there to serve the students. And the business community, they have family, they have responsibilities. Why will you wake up one morning and chase the business community without offering an alternative? So these are quite big challenges that the university is facing as a constituency. And they say, John Maxwell says, everything rises and falls under leadership. Many of the people who have been elected as the at a councillor level, I think they just look at this position as an employment opportunity. But I mean, if you contest on a position, your role is to go and serve the people. You put people first before yourself, and they do nothing. There is a lady who worked for Makerere for 40 years, and she has never gotten her, you know, her package. She's there suffering. So, you know, people out there see Makerere as, but there are so many challenges. There are so many challenges that they are experiencing, and it is the role of the representative from the government to make sure that such issues are addressed. So issues of job security, people who have not been paid, people who have been fired and their salary have not been paid. We have the labor office which handles such kind of issues. But why are the leaders, the current leaders who were in office, why didn't they do that? Why would they let that lady sit there for all this time?
So
it's quite challenging.
Right.
So my role,
Yes.
So my role is, number one, as a Lord Chancellor, LC5 for Ocaya University, is advocacy. I have to champion the unique needs of the university, its staff, and even the students in the city budget allocations, and also policy formulations. Another thing I will be doing is the oversight, to monitor local service delivery. Look at the sanitation. There is a sewage, whatever. It's when you're headed this, I think it's around when you're using the Western Gate.
Yeah.
And you're coming from this side of, that place, they always release sewage. I don't know whether it burst or whatever, and it just contaminates the whole area. I don't expect such to be in the university setting. So how can such things be handled? There are some areas that don't have street lights. And the mere fact that the university gate is open, anyone can have access to it. There are thugs who come and take advantage of students. So we need lights always on. If one has a problem, it has to be immediately restored. And also to ensure accountability from the relevant city agencies. Another thing is I'll be doing legislation, propose and support bylaws that enhance campus safety, regulate local commerce, and also improve the residents' welfare. So these are the things that I will be doing as the Lord Chancellor or LC5 for Ocaya University.
Okay, so Abraham, just to further Fiona's question, you are contesting for Kampala Central. It is one of the most complex constituencies in terms of first of all, it has people who work there, whose whole livelihood is in Kampala Central, but they don't live in Kampala. They probably live in Wakiso or Mukono. Some of them have gone as far afield as Luzzi. But even there, you've got big property owners, rich business people, small business people, commuters, poor policemen, you name it. That's your constituency. What is your understanding of the different interests that should be taken care of in Kampala Central? Because it's the economic heartbeat of if you think traders are complaining about taxes, they're complaining about Chinese, border guys are complaining about police, small traders are complaining about KCCA. The story goes on. So how those complex, first of all, just help us, before we ask you for solutions, help us to understand Kampala Central and its complexity and the challenges that face Kampala Central as a constituency and why it's so important in the whole political context.
First of all, I don't want to accord Kampala Central special area. It is as equal as any other constituencies. They should not assume the pride, the accolades they don't deserve.
No. Abraham, yes. Let's be fair. It is the headquarters of government offices. Parliament sits there. Bank of Uganda sits there. What's this place called? Chukubo. Okay, I'm not saying it has a special status. It has a special reality. It has all these interests, which are, the headquarters of the church, the religious groups are in the Kampala Central. So you have all the, so I'm saying, help me understand. I'm not saying it's not, I'm just saying it's more complex than, for instance, my home area, Chinchizi East, we are one tribe, two religions, that's it. So you tell me, I'm just saying, help us to understand the complexity and the difficulties.
Yeah, like I was saying, There's no even need of understanding these people. But in simple terms, as you have said, many of them just come and work from there, and many are coming from outside. We cannot dwell on understanding them because it's not even relevant. We can never. They are like chameleon. Every Ugandan, wherever he is, they need never to think micro. You know, what has failed this country, according to my analysis, is everybody thinking micro, like thinking about as low as individuals, as thinking and planning as low as ghettos, Muntuwawansi, or low earners or something. This country is not run on low earners. Like we don't have to prioritize certain group of people or tending to understand them. They need to understand themselves. But we need to think on a macro level now, on a national level. Like for example, every society in Uganda, district, everything dies from the macro level. That is from parliament, from the executive and the judiciary. That's why we're saying, much as there are three arms of government, what is the most important one? Oh, okay, we're not most important, but a very crucial and a user-friendly that touches every livelihoods of Ugandans is the parliament. When you look at the budget, that's what entails what is going to be termed as a service delivery. And the budget is only approved by parliament. At least after disseminating, dissecting the budget that is proposed by Minister of Finance, as discussed by the cabinet, and then passed to the cabinet, to the parliament to check, cross-check, and then give feedback. Like I'm telling you, understanding that this is the central business district, definitely there is a special status and a special vote of funding that is required to work on infrastructure, at least street lighting, traffic jam, regulating the tenant and the landlord relationship. Everything is lacking from regulation. You find that every landlord takes himself like a small king, and he can actually give his own rent. He can even instruct the tenants to declare certain amounts of rent. You can find that a landlord can tell people that you're supposed to pay water bills, electricity bills, that you don't consume. They are assumed, you know, estimates. You find that someone has only two, you find that someone has only two lights in his shop, and you find that he pays millions of money for electricity bills. So we need to regulate right from parliament. That's why I'm saying the parliament is a very crucial department in management of this country. We cannot have service delivery where we are assuming that the recurrent expenditure, which involves only the expenses, salaries, allowances, and the exorbitant privileges given to civil servants, including MPs, and even they don't allow taxation of allowances on any of these civil servants, judicial officers, and the members of parliament, irrespective of whether NRM or MP or opposition. So we are saying everybody is excited. They simply don't know what to do. The country is dying from laws and policies. Even if it is the president who needs to do certain performance, he has to come to parliament. And it is a shame that sometimes I assume is lied to, that people are going to oppose your interests. Therefore, it is assumed, it's said, alleged that they are being bribed. So how do you pass something simply because you are bribed and want to make sure that His Excellency is happy? So we are saying everybody has a role, and it is beginning from parliament. When you look at different performances of government departments and what we term as civil service, and in relation to Kampala Central, in regard to the entire country, is the same. The effect what affects Kampala Central affects the entire country. You find that many projects are underfunded. Subcontracting is the order of the day. By the time the real contractor gets the job to be done down there, half of the money is swindled, is taken. Equally, there are people who are seated in positions that don't take serious decisions that at least is termed as service delivery to the population. For example, some money is passed as loan, and this money is not paid by a given commissioner or director or something. Someone is responsible, an accountant, something like that. By just decency or indecency, someone fails to perform.
by crippling these government procedures, and later they ask for bribe. That's why everything is crippled. Lastly, can you imagine, Mr. Kapsheng and my sister and the viewers? It is a shame that you find that from the Auditor General's report, there are exorbitant tax exemptions that are equal as for the last development plan of 5 years. Almost 16 trillion Uganda shillings were given freely to investors in a short way. And they are assuming that these companies came to perform here wonders and even give our population jobs. But at the end, because we have no minimum wage, they are equally paid peanuts, our citizens. And then the bigger taxes are given to the population. So we are saying Uganda is not all that bad, that it needs to give incentives that are not realistic to investors. Let investors pay taxes equally like or foreign investors like all local people. So all these decisions are made by myopic leaders or central civil servants. Each and everybody in Uganda is failing to do his role by himself. And because they are crippled in the mind, they don't know what to do. You give a job to someone who is not qualified, who is not checked, who is not suited for that job. And you think you are doing a favor, but at the end you are crippling your own selves. Then Mr. Kapsheng also, as I wind up on that issue, Kampala Central is not special. And I'm telling you, in Uganda, I have observed there is no any, if it is there, 1% of companies that do make profit. Do you know that every company is surviving on cheating and evading tax? That's the only profit they make, because you have allowed the population to determine the prices, to determine the entire costs or whatever. You can find a piece of land, they tell you it is $1 million, useless. Do you know a piece of land that is $1 million in US or in South Africa or in London? A house, they tell you is 1 million. When you look at it, it's like a nutshell. Can you imagine? So we are saying everything is in a mess because we don't have sober people who can talk the truth. I am telling you, I am having a challenge where we have domestic areas. The money is there, but someone is failing to pay local suppliers. And very soon this country will be on a standstill. You find that police people are eating people's food and other resources and supplies, the army and government installations, and the suppliers are not paid. They are in areas as 2 or 3 years. Foreign companies have taken contracts here. They are crying. They are demanding government as much as the contracts of 5 or 10 years ago. This is a shame, and you expect people to pay tax when you are cheating your own citizens. And the people in the government, they are our brothers, they are our sisters. They're like, so we cannot blame whoever is doing mistakes here is not Sudanese or Congolese. They are Ugandans. So we are saying the idea is beginning from Parliament. First of all, there are too many, 529 plus. This is incredibly nonsense and doesn't make sense. They are busy arguing. Others don't know even what to do. They are given iPads and they are given people to train them to use them. Others take them home to play. They give them to their children. Can you imagine? You find people when they are running and fighting to be there for survival. So we are saying, if you look what the allowances these MPs get, so the business in the parliament is like a joke. So we are saying we need to at least cut all these allowances to 80% off. We need to reduce the salary to 2 million. We need to at least have everybody bring his own car in my reforms. Don't expect the country to buy for you vehicles. That 200 million grant should be abolished immediately. And the level of a car for a member of parliament or whatever should be a V8. You should be responsible for it. If you are getting salary, do the mechanics on it. And the rest, even if you should know how to come by yourself to work as long as you are paid. If you can't work for that little, please don't come for a civil service or government job. We are saying you should have your own national insurance policy. Nobody should take care of your medical bills. That's why people cannot think to bring a national realistic health insurance policy. We are saying we should nationalize insurance policies. For every Ugandan, at least you pay 100,000 or 50,000 from development expenditure, and you make sure everybody can access medical attention from any good or private hospital, local and international. And it is working elsewhere. We are saying, show us that you've been paying tax and you are having something to do. Declare. You should show us that you've been filing and you have a tax clearance certificate to stand. Because government you want to serve, you should be exemplary by at least showing that paying tax is good and I am compliant. But you have people who have never paid tax. That's why they can never hear anything improving the tax collection or even increasing the tax base. Simply, they don't know. So many people don't pay tax. All those big people of yours and small people. Every Uganda, 99% they cheat tax. Now, we are also saying, please show us where you stay, permanent place of abode. You should have at least a homestead that is equivalent to a member of parliament. It should be in your arms, no renting. These house allowances, all to civil servants should be cut off. Why? We want to reduce the recurrent expenditure so that the development expenditure for our people is what is termed as over 70% of the entire budget always. So, but you find that Uganda's budget, like for this approved year, is like you wanting to construct a home and the bill of cost is 10 million for completion of that very house. But the labor and the people who are going to work on it, it is 50 million. Does it make sense to you? Really, does it make sense to you? All have internet. Can you check the approved budget of Uganda for this 2024, 2025, 2026? And check. And I'm wondering whether these government people, they have not all been seeing it, simply because they don't know that the country dies from a budget. The country dies from formulating a budget. And I'm wondering, whoever is in the Ministry of Finance and Planning, is this what they call planning? This is the planning. Complete nonsense. And all these people need to be at least arrested. I'm telling you. But we are saying why it is a problem, because of the sickness I've told you, permanent and pensionable syndrome. People are not doing whatever they're supposed to do simply because they know they have that job. Even if the president comes up to say, I have dismissed you, those very people will take the president to court and they will win, they will be reinstated or even compensated heavily. Lastly, we are saying, show us where you have traveled, your travel experience. Many people come and pick passport for the very first time, my brother. Whoever is in parliament is inadequate, is not qualified. People are eyeing to get a blue passport or green or whatever for the first time. Where do you do the benchmark? All these things we are talking about, we've seen it else, we are working. But you bring someone for the first time is seeing the city. That's why we are saying the Westerners and Central people, they have brought the most gullible leaders in this last 10th parliaments. Can you imagine? From the North, people are sober. But because these guys are majority, they always bull those guys over there and they cannot pass whatever they are doing, or that it would be right. So you're saying we need to check ourselves, the Westerners and the Central people. Look what the quality of MPs from the Central region. Look what the quality of the MPs from the Western. And they are now the majority. And they think they because having big heads and shouting, we are Baganda, we are Westerners, makes sense for this country. I'm telling you, Mr. Kabshenga, until when people realize the responsibility of developing this country and changing the narrative begins from me, myself, and you. Can you imagine many Ugandans? There are people who are paid to sensitize the population about tax collection, IFRIs, and the rest. There are people in offices, government offices, paid heavily to train people to at least advertise Uganda abroad, locally, and teach our population. Someone is seated on that budget. They eat that money intentionally. So many people are paid small money, but they are billionaires. One time, the IGG mentioned we need to audit the lifestyle of civil servants. And the president himself said, hey, watch out. So that one only fattens the people who steal this government. In Kenya, people should understand that when you want money, you do business. You can do business with government, but not to steal from government. In Kenya, all the people are business people, all leaders. What are you doing? Even when they steal the money, they fail even to invest the money. Instead, they cause inflation. I'm telling you, you say plot and a house of $1 million, it is laughable. It's a nutshell. A crocodile den. Can you imagine? They call it a $1 million property. Nonsense. Mr. Kabshenga, you have traveled. A house to be declared $1 million in US, in South Africa, in Australia, it's a mansion bigger than State House. Yes or no? But here in Uganda, you find a small.
Okay, so Abraham, Let me let Fiona come back
in Nakasero, 2 million, 3 million. Complete, a lot we can share, yes.
Fiona, I think we need to...
Yeah, I think what has come up also is that just the issue of how things are functioning, right? What comes to mind is actually our roads at the moment. I don't live in the central, but I imagine I know road construction is happening in very many areas, and one of the simpler, but I think important things that is happening even for us where I live is, roads are being constructed, great, but there seems to be a breakdown in, that top down, who KCCA, who, like all of the people, all of the systems that are in that, what should I call it, in that process somehow aren't working together, because why are roads being fixed and then blocked, and we have nowhere to go, and we need to go to work and go to all these different places. People need to go to hospitals and so on. But you wake up in the morning and roads are blocked, which indicates, a breakdown in how we are structuring these things. Is the local government actually connected, properly with the central and the KCCA itself? So let me go back to you, Mr. Ocaya. I mean, as a councillor, what are your thoughts around how we can, I don't know how to say this, but maybe how we can begin to make KCCA, for example, more functional in terms of that flow? Because at least for the person like me, when we look at what we are experiencing, there seems to be like a breakdown in how things flow. And so somewhere something is working, but because it's not connected to two other parts, then the person at the bottom is stuck at home and can't go to work. Hopefully my question makes sense. It's really about the functionality of KCCA and how how do you see that as an aspirant, for councillor?
Well, thank you so much. KCCA is a very brilliant agency which is actually supposed to bring positive impact to the social and economic well-being of the people who are living and residing in Kampala. But however, I think one of the biggest challenge is what the regime in power has done. They have created so many offices, yet all powers have to be ventured in the mayor, in the Lord Mayor. But now we have the executive director, we have now such kind they greatly who gets order to who everyone feels they're big. So you find those who are supposed to be doing the right thing are dictated upon the other ones who think they are what? They are bigger than the other ones. So it's quite a big challenge, and that's the biggest problem that the regime in power has done, to totally disorganize the whole purpose as to why KCCA was being established. So we need to go back and try and understand, why was KCCA created? Why does KCCA exist? Unless we go back and understand that, then the whole entire whatever will just be operating in a disorganized way.
So what I'm hearing you saying is that your view is that there are too many in-betweens, like the tape is long.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, it would be interesting to hear also, Mr. Luzzi, what are your thoughts on how KCC functions now and how to make it more functional, especially in the role that you are aspiring to occupy?
Yeah, like I've been saying, many of the decisions, they are done on a macro level. All what you see is treating the disease itself, but there have been symptoms and the root cause, the real cause of the disease. We are saying these are the laws. Everything done in this country must be under the law, or done within the jurisdictions of the law. So we are saying Parliament needs to regulate all these authorities. They need to look and scrutinize the positions made, even like what he's saying, my brother there, Mr. Ocaya, like all those parallel organizations which collide and work parallel and things like that. We have to relate them to the law. Nothing should operate that is not within the law. So which means we supposed as parliament to enact or amend the laws and the establishment of those authorities so that they don't overlap, they don't collide, they don't work parallel. That's why I'm saying you should elect an MP that is sober and is thinking for this country as a father, the same way we would think for the child. Now, I'm saying people are forgetting, how can you be enact or amend laws when you have no legal knowledge? So you have basically an illiterate parliament. They simply don't know even what they're supposed to do. They are busy quarreling, shouting. Can you imagine that overlap and creation of new authorities or districts or positions? They have created a very huge budget against government. That no wonder the recurrent expenditure is so big, times 2, almost 3 times the development expenditure. Reason being, the president and whoever is in government not knowing the real cause. That's why they think creation of this other authority, overlooking, over supervising, this one would bring the solution. The issue is very simple. Like I said, we should have a parliament with the qualified, knowledgeable individuals to think for this country. Because even if the executive exists, so judicially, whatever they do is within the law passed by parliament. Nothing is above the law. Nothing is done without the interest and the jurisdiction of the law. So whatever they do must have been passed by parliament. A gullible parliament. Some people pass things even they don't know the repercussions. Like, for example, creation of KCC authority, executive director, and whoever was in the architecture of that didn't know, didn't overlook, was not patriotic, was not knowledgeable. Instead, possibly was serving the interest of some other persons whom they were trying to seek allegiances. You can show allegiance by doing the right thing. It's like having an advisor that is always clapping for you for any mistake you're doing. So we are saying some position, the people are too many. They are doing nothing. When you look at the MPs, there are too many. I gave you an example last time. Canada has over 2.2 trillion US dollar budget. I mean GDP. Uganda has only 53 billion. Uganda has over almost 600 MPs. Canada has in 315 or a little bit around there. Does it make sense to you? Really? 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 Uganda is like a poor man who has many girlfriends, side chicks. Each one he buys for them a Mercedes and having a party every day home, drinking champagne. But at their home, that very idiot, his real wife and children, they are dressed in rags and they eat 1 meal a day. Now that is the Uganda government and the all respective leaders, irrespective whether opposition or NRM. So we are saying everything is in a mess, whether opposition. Even can you imagine the MPs from opposition, they think mere arguing and insulting the president, is that what it means to be opposition leaders? Can you imagine? Even the NRM people themselves, they don't know the beauty and what they're supposed to do within their government. They simply seek and they alternate around the handouts. They always simply crap when their leader is lecturing. But whatever he has lectured, they leave it there. And they claim, you know, Africans have a problem of blame game and criticizing. Do you know what they say? That we cannot exercise our mandate because the president always, when he gives you a job, he gives you someone to supervise you. Nonsense. They are looking for excuses. They simply don't know what to do.
Okay.
Everybody at every level, yes.
So we need to wind up because people need to go back to their lives, and I think we've convinced them about both of you. So what we will want to do as the final question, we will pass it on to you. So assuming, this is making an assumption, assuming Mr. Ocaya and Mr. Luzzi, assuming both of you are competing for the same office, and in a sense you are competing to manage Kampala, I want you to ask each other one question, only one, which, assuming you are competing for this office. Luzzi, what would you ask Ocaya? Ocaya, what would you ask Luzzi? What's that one question you'd ask him? Only one. It shouldn't even be in 2 parts, just one question. Who wants to go first?
We can start with Mr.
Okay.
Ocaya.
Me, what I would ask Mr.
No,
Ocaya.
let's start with the elder.
Okay, no problem. Really?
Okay, Luzzi, you start.
Yes, Mr. Ocaya, according to you, what do you think is the real and root cause of the malfunction of this government?
You first answer, then you will ask him when you're done.
Well, I think the biggest challenge of this government is lack of purpose and a sense of direction, because this regime operates in a kind of a way where they have impoverished people. They have made them so poor to the point that they take advantage, of their marginalization. I cannot believe that a voter can be able to accept 2,000 Ugandan shillings to cast his vote for a very wrong leader. And you have sold your entire 5 years just for 2,000 shillings. So that means that the person you have chosen to go and represent you is going to do whatever he wants because he bought the votes. So what this regime has done is to make people poor, to put the people in a kind of a struggle situation, in a survival mode, so that you continue begging.
How has government made the
Luzzi,
people poor?
Luzzi. No, you had only one question. So Ocaya, now it's Ochaya's turn to ask you. Ocaya, you ask him now.
So my question to you, Luzzi, is this. The mere fact that you're contesting for Kampala Central, and you know how KCCA has been disorganized and politicized, whereby some of the positions which power was ventured have been made very weak, that they cannot decide for what? For their area. So what are you going to do as an MP, Kampala Central?
Abraham.
Okay. Thank you very much. But like me, I've been always agitating for a thought at a macro level, not thinking about individuals, traders, what we should know and touch where exactly the problem is. We are saying there are two problems. Government is people, and those people, they are your appliances, people bringing ideas that are at least intended to solve problems intentionally so that they benefit from it. And we are saying this time around, we are advising people that it is Parliament that is the supervisor, architect, and the cooks of whatever you see that is served to the people. So we are saying this time around, we've been, it is a time for people to at least elect leaders that are based on competence, experience, not based on handouts or incentives. And we are saying the parliament is so big, they cannot sit and concentrate to discuss issues that matter to this country. Many of them, they have no experience at all. So I am saying the real cause why KCCA has been crippled is not the people you see in KCCA. Everything has been structured from parliament. And anything that is not within the law should be stopped, or else we need to amend and modernize and look into the operations of KCCA right from parliament. If at all the creation of a parallel executive director role is not sufficient enough for proper service delivery, it should be abolished. Everything started from parliament. So I'm saying we need to elect leaders, especially the parliament, to think for this country, plan for this country, for the betterment of KCCA and the people at the end as a country as a whole. Yes.
On that very happy note and very well summarized note, I want to thank you, Abraham, Luzzi. I want to thank you because you made it so easy for me to have you on this show. So thank you very much for agreeing. And I will ask you to thank Sarah for allowing you to come. So we're grateful.
Okay. Sarah is hearing you. Yes.
I don't know if the people will be fine if we don't ask you how Sarah is.
Sarah
I don't know if they will be fine.
Sarah's toe is here. She's alive and kicking. Yeah, she's okay.
Very good. Very good. Well, you greet her for us.
Fantastic.
I will do that.
Kelvin
Yes.
Ocaya, it's nice meeting you. And I'm quite happy that we've had this conversation. And thank you for your very articulate and passionate manner in which you have explained your position. So thank you very much, Kelvin.
Oh, thank you too for hosting me.
And of course, my co-host, Fiona, who is now sitting in darkness. Thank God she's not Ochaya's skin complexion. She would have vanished.
You know, this country will humble you, whether it is power or it could have been data. So you know what, between the two,
I would
it's
rather
not
you're
too
on
bad.
data than on electricity without data. And of course, to the guys behind the scenes, Solo, David, Ben, and Sam, who make us capable of bringing this show. Thank you very much. We'll see you next Monday.
All right, bye.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.